Okay, hello all you crazy people out there. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games. Welcome to, I can't call it the final Let's Make a Tower Defense video because there's going to be a couple more after this, but we're going to be building the game. So, this is going to involve at the very least a Windows version. And I have set up some OperaGX stuff on my computer, but I have not actually tried it yet, so I don't know if it's going to be realistic to get this game working on OperaGX. If I can get it working within like the next 15 minutes, I'll try and do that. OperaGX is a basically the spiritual successor to things like the old GameMaker sandbox from like the days of 2010, 2011, or like old Flash games hubs like Newgrounds and whatnot. It was not a thing until like 3 months ago. And it was not part of my original plans for where to distribute this game, but now that it's here, and it sounds like, from what I've heard, people actually like it quite a bit. As I said, I have not messed around with it too much myself, but I will make an attempt to get this game up there. A couple things: I need a program icon. That's my GitHub profile. I need a program icon. I need I do want to make this an x64 game, x64 program, because I think by default GameMaker still creates new projects as 32-bit. And in any case, when I started doing this in June, July of 2020, GameMaker did not yet have the 64-bit Windows runtime. Let's see. This should be fine. You might see a small performance gain, at least on the CPU side of things, and this is not a very CPU demanding game. This is yeah, this works pretty much exactly the same as it always did. Okay. The 64-bit Windows runtime, unless I'm not using like pointer magic anywhere, am I? No, I'm not using pointer magic anywhere. That's the only real difference that one might see. I'm not like binding any external DLLs or anything like that. Let's see. Since it doesn't have to go through the like 32-bit emulation layer within the Windows operating system, you might see a small performance gain, at least on the CPU side of things, but since most of the computing in this game happens on the GPU, that probably won't really affect anything. I'm just going to 64-bit runtime. I need to hit save, don't I? 64-bit runtime. Next, make a program icon. That's exciting. I do like to use this website called the Noun Project for a lot of icons. This is a big old repository of free icons that you can use in various things like games and whatnot with credits. Apparently you do not have anything for Bombardier, but if I were to search like bug, I might find like a fun like no bug. This is a fun one, although it might be a little bit big, a little bit elaborate. Icon that I could use. I only have a free account for the Noun Project, so I will have to do things such as give the appropriate credit for things that I use. But honestly, I would do that anyway. I'm surprised there haven't been more like this with the like the crossed out no over it. I kind of like this one. Okay. Remember this text. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to save this as a portable network graphic. If you'll excuse me, let me put this in the workspace folder for this game. That is the save location. Where is the workspace folder for this game? Here it is. I'm going to do a few things to this image. One, I'm going to drag it into Photoshop, and I'm going to... did I get all of that? I think I did. I'm going to turn off the grid. I'm going to give this a white background, just to make it easier to read. Let me take the ellipse tool and do something like this. And that is going to make this easier to read. I will also, I think... I'll recolor a little bit, at least the wings of this thing. No, make the tolerance lower. This can be like, I don't know, an iridescent bluish green or something. How does that look when zoomed out? That's not terrible. Maybe something darker. Okay. And then maybe I'll just make the cross out sign actually red or something. All right, I think that'll do it. Actually, no, I don't like that. I'll keep it black. Okay. So this is going to be... I'm going to save that as icon.psd. And... I wish I had like an automatically cropped version of this. Can I flatten image? No, don't flatten image. I mean, I want to merge visible. And then if I were to copy this here, we'll have a cropped version. Let's save this as a PNG as well. And I'm going to interlace, yes please. I'm going to turn this into an ICO icon using a program known as Asprite. This is a handy dandy pixel art tool, which can do a lot more than pixel art, as it turns out. I'm going to be using it to take icon. I'm going to resize it to, I think 64 by 64 is the appropriate size. Canvas size. Is that okay? That won't like stretch it down. I want to sprite size 64 by 64. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. And I'll save that under the name of icon 64x64. And I did not save that as an icon. I saved that as a PNG. Some of these things that are just like, you would think I would pay attention, but I just don't. Alright, iCode doesn't support alpha channel. I'm like 95% sure it does. Palette with alpha channel, I can, yeah. Okay. Now if I were to open up this this icon, apparently Irfan Viewer... Oh, Irfan Viewer can view icon files, apparently. Yeah, we've got that. That looks fine. If I were to go into Windows, graphics, images, the icon can be this. Yeah, that does have transparency. I don't know why Asprite doesn't think it does. I'm not planning on deploying to like Windows UWP or anything, but just for the sake of having it. Okay, so you are very, very strict about the dimensions of that, and I can't say I care. Ubuntu, for things such as Raspberry Pi, images, icon. Oh, you can take a PNG. Has transparency. Are you serious? Ubuntu? Fine. Alright, reloading GameMaker again, didn't make it find it. Whatever. Honestly, whatever. I'll work that out on my own if I need to. So, I can, make a program icon. I can drag that off there. We have a program icon. That shall be a commit. Update the README on the repository. That's, boy, what do I even put in this? That's Control G. I want Control Shift F. And that is going to allow me to open up this readme.markdown file. Okay, this is going to be... The top part is fine. Credits. Snap is no longer in it. Thank you, Juju. You were a fantastic help until GameMaker added a native JSON parse function. The icon, for one, needs to be this. I'll put that in quotes so that you actually know what it is. Other credits include S part by Sindre Larsen. I can go into the room and just look at the credits screen. Many assets were from Kenny.nl. That's that. I also need some audio from Sonus. Okay, that's another one. Music by Ryan. When I create an itch.io page and possibly an OperaGX page for this, I'm just going to totally copy and paste from that credits section. And S part by the heavy metal Viking dentist. And there's also the special thanks to my sister for testing this. That's that. Is there anything else? Like, the credits are the main thing that jumped out to me as out of date here. I guess I could also hyperlink these. All right, let's hyperlink these. Kenny.nl is over here. Sonus GDC audio is going to be this link. Ryan is here. And where is this is the forum post. Okay. We're going to make that a hyperlink. We are going to make this a hyperlink. We are going to make that a hyperlink. And we are going to make that a hyperlink. Okay. All right, I think that's good enough for me. I'm going to close that. I'm going to commit these changes. Finally, I can move this to the closed, and now I think it's time to look at the program metadata and start making builds. All right. So program metadata, this is the fun part. Let me look at first Windows. So this is going to be, display name is going to be Bombardier. Executable name is going to be bombardier.exe. The version should be 1.1.0. Company, I do not have a company. Wizard Dragon. I like the name conceptually, but when I came up with it a couple years ago for the whole Patreon thing, it did not occur to me that saying it out loud is a bit of a challenge. Not so much that it's a difficult word to say, but it's hard to say it without laughing. Product is Bombardier. Copyright is 2020, 2021. Would it be weird to put my real name in there? I don't know. Description. Show those bugs who's in charge. Okay. The rest of the metadata. Copy exe to output folder. Don't really care. Sleep margin. That's fine. Enable Steam. No. Use alternate launcher for Steam. No. Disable file system sandbox. Apparently, yes. Is there a reason for that? Who cares? Use the x64 Windows runtime. Like, the file system sandbox kind of annoys a lot of people, but the main reason that it's there is to make, honestly, antivirus shut up. If I were to turn this off, would anything bad happen if I were to run the game? I'm guessing no. Because I don't think I'm loading anything from any strange locations. Yeah, it does not appear that anything bad is happening with the game as a result of turning off the file system sandbox. That may have been there early on when I was, like, I don't know, loading assets from random places or something like that. Okay. This is going to be Windows program metadata. I guess I'll also the other platform that I really want to target is Linux. The version is 1.0.0. Maintainer email. Boy. Linux has many fewer options than Windows does. OperaGX. I said I would look into this. I already did fill in a name here. The version is 1.0.0. Let's turn off interpolate colors. I do not want texture interpolation on by default. Texture page size is false. Speaking of which, is that option also off for Ubuntu? It is. Good. Okay. Oh, you know what else I do need to test though? Is and I am fairly confident that this will not be a problem, but like this tooltip, how does this behave on different screen sizes? It does not, to make a long story short. Hang on. All right. Is this just going to be a matter of going into the tooltip thing? I need so much stuff here, and setting the alignment. FA left, FA top. Okay, this should really be FA right and FA top, I believe. I know I said I wouldn't mess with the game after last week's video, but it does count as a bug, which I think I would like to... Okay, that's better. If I were to make the game even bigger... Yeah, it's still fine. Okay. I'm going to maintain it at... At a 1280, 720 is still good, right? Yeah, it is. But 1600 by 900, I think, is my preferred size. Okay. Let's break this up into pieces. This is going to be the alignment of the tooltips. This is going to be Linux options. Did I save this? I did not save that, apparently. Do you not want interpolate colors between pixels on OperaGX? Okay. So we should be set. I've tested this a few times using the Yo-Yo compiler. The Yo-Yo compiler, for those who are unaware, transpiles your GML code into C++. Not like straight up C++, it is C++ with a bit of overhead, so it's not going to make your game as fast as if you wrote it in native C++. But it can give your game a nice performance boost for certain situations. I think I'm not going to enable that. I've done a fair amount of testing with the Yo-Yo compiler, and I haven't encountered any issues with it, but I haven't tested it as thoroughly as the regular VM version, and it's entirely possible that there are still lines of code in here that are fine in the VM, but that will make the Yo-Yo compiler barf, and I don't really want to make that happen. And to boot, again, most of this game is graphical stuff, and I don't think it's really... I don't think YYC is really going to have an effect on how it performs for most people. So I'm going to leave this alone. So let me set this to release mode. And now I'm actually going to make the executable. Let us clean the compile cache just in case there's like stale texture data or whatever stuck in there. Let us click the build button, and I guess I'll stick this in my my workspace folder. Actually, no, I won't, because that will end up on GitHub unless I ask GitHub to ignore it. I have a stuff I made folder containing some old versions. 0.61 is what I sent to my sister to test a little while ago. I'm going to make this Bombardier. Let's call this win for Windows.zip. And I will also, I guess usually the way that people making software would do it would be, have like the not only the operating system target but also the CPU architecture target. So like Win64, or Win x86 64 or something like that. Versus if I were to use the Raspberry Pi Linux ARM x64. All of these are going to be 64-bit versions of the game. I'm not going to bother with. Compress this is only 16 megabytes. Nice. I'm not going to bother with 32-bit versions of this game. Anyway, let me attempt to switch this to Ubuntu. Can I connect to my Raspberry Pi real quick before I embarrass myself? Test connection. We are successful. I'm going to clear the compiler cache again, just in case. Failed to clean the compiler cache. That's rare. I guess that could be because there's nothing in it. Failed. Package program complete. What are you complaining about, sir? Pi release? Icon file is not a valid PNG file format. Okay. Well, I tried. This might be something I do on my own time as well. Alright, I guess it'll be Windows only for now. I do want to have, like, it doesn't run great on the Raspberry Pi. It was giving me, like, 15-20 FPS in the final version that I tested. Which is, like, not unplayable, but it's also not ideal. The Raspberry Pi's GPU is not very powerful. I consider it rather likely that within the next year or two, a Raspberry Pi 5 will come out. And I'm sure there will be some generational improvements there. And if you want to run this game on a Raspberry Pi, you would most likely want to do that. As well as most other GameMaker games built for Raspberry Pi, but that's lamentations for another day. Alright, so I'm going to switch this back to Windows. And I'm going to... I think that's it. YYC builds, I'm going to say no thanks to that, at least for now. OperaGX builds. Oh yeah, right. Is there any changes? Gonna delete the Linux icon for now because GameMaker doesn't like it. Let's see what's gonna happen when I set the target to OperaGX. This can be the regular release target. I'm going to have to manually launch Opera myself because Chrome is my default browser and I don't really feel like changing it just for this. Apparently, this is going to be WebAssembly rather than an HTML5 game. And apparently, as such, it does not contain a lot of the issues that the GameMaker HTML5 runner does. I'm going to need to... like, Opera, where are you? Okay, it's launching, and I'm going to need to manually stick this, I think, or stick the address of the game in the GXC address bar. Oh no, is it actually launching on its own? Exception thrown, see JavaScript console. Alright, as I said before, I've never done this before. So if this isn't just plug and play, if there's like some weird error with the shaders or something with WebGPU, then I'll just do this on my own. Where is the JavaScript console? That's the source. Inspect element. Okay, the console. Oh, right. This is just a Chromium window. This is the Chromium console. Uncaught 407.89784. I do not know what that means. Runner.js, line 44. This is going to be nigh impossible to read. Oh, is this... This is supposed to be WebAssembly. But this just looks like the regular HTML5 obfuscated JavaScript. Which I'm not going to even attempt to read, because this is... I mean... It's obfuscated. At least I can... I can pretty print the minified file. Okay, so this is complaining about something in the runtime environment and not in the game. Okay, that's another thing that I'll do on my own time. I was just curious if it would cause problems or not. All right, that's fine.
Hey.
So let me open up this this program and run it from the executable and just see what happens. We should be ready to play. We're in release mode, so we're not going to be running a lot of the debug code. We are running it from the executable. This is a 64-bit executable. All right. Come on. If you're running this on your own, you may see like the Windows user account control screen popping up or some similar warning from your antivirus. I don't think it'll trigger the Windows user account control because it doesn't like try to read from the registry or anything. But if that happens, you have seen the development of this game. This game does not contain anything malicious. I feel like that should be one of those go without saying sort of things. But the game seems to be working. Okay. We're running this from an executable. We have made a game. So, next time... I am going to make an itch.io page. That is going to involve, like, taking some screenshots. I may make a trailer for it on my own time either. I feel like that's not going to be very interesting for anyone besides, like, me. It's not like there's a ton of action in this game anyway that would be trailer material, but I'll try and work something out because that's just... like good presentation to have. But yeah, next time we're going to be publishing this on the internet. And then after that, the only video left for this Let's Make a Game series is going to be a postmortem that I want to do. So that should be fun. And I have a feeling that a number of people will be watching that and pointing their finger at the screen and shouting like, I could have told you that, why did you do that? And I would be like, probably because I was, I don't know, in a hurry and wasn't thinking about it or something. Oh, there is one more thing I want to do, and that is... count how many lines of code are in this GameMaker project. Where is GameMaker line of code counter? GMS2 line counter. This is a handy little program made by Sebastian Nigro, which will do exactly what it sounds like. It will count the number of lines in a GameMaker project. And I am curious. I'm guessing there's going to be about 2,000 lines of code in this thing. If I can find Bombardier. This is going to take a moment to analyze it. We have... Oh, you know what? That's probably mostly going to be living in SPART, isn't it? There's 5,000 lines of scripts, 1,300 lines of shaders. Only probably about 200 of those lines are from me. Maybe a little more because I have multiple copies of shaders that do the same thing in the vertex versus fragment shader. 400 lines in rooms. Okay, 34 script assets, 6 objects, 15 shaders, 1 room. This is an interesting little breakdown. It doesn't have like a pie chart or anything of where the code is, but that's fine. The older GML pal that someone else made did, but that was for GMS1 only. Okay. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games. I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm going to make this 1.0. Now I'm going to make it 1.0. Unlike in the last video. I'm going to create myself an actual release. This is going to... I do not have to check that this is a pre-release thing anymore. I can go into the folder where this lives, which I was just in, and drag bombardier.win onto here. And next time, we're gonna be throwing this on the internet on itch.io. I will see you all later. Special thanks to Edward Holt, Emily Koyo, Gunnar Clovis, Posha, Sindra Larson, Squarecrow, Tusk, and Zenjamin for supporting these videos. If you want to see your name in the credits or hear yourself shouted out at the end like this, head on over to the Patreon page down in the video description to join the fun.